Good morning, everyone. It's Anna with Adventures with Anna. Yes, I did change that because, like I stated in the video where I decided to do that, I'm on an adventure with yarn stuff and just in general, and you guys are coming along with me, so it's Adventures with Anna. But anyway, I don't have any, well, I do have one finished project from this past week, but I did not bring it with me today. I want to do a separate video on it anyway, so I will show that later on this week to you, and then I will just include that project on next week's finished videos on Monday next week. I didn't get a whole lot accomplished except for that one project because this past week was rather busy and interesting. This week is not going to be much better, but anyway, I do want to show you a few things that I did do. And before we get started though, if you'll remember, I want to give an update. I got this Crochet Hook Kit that I did a review on a couple weeks ago that has the different size crochet hooks in it. I take this with me everywhere. Everywhere I go, I take this with me. And I've added a few little personal modifications to it. If you notice, I do have a hook out. That's the one that I'm using for my sandpiper shawl. I have not been able to try any of these. I do want to do something with crochet thread here before too long, hopefully, and try some of the little steel hooks. That's what I call them. But anyway, one of the modifications that I've done with this is there's a little plastic loop over here. It's just where they've sewed the plastic in for holding the hooks here. It's the perfect size for putting a yarn needle. So I slipped a yarn needle in there, and actually there's probably one on this side and over on this side. I could probably do the same thing, but one's plenty. It's usually all I need. So I've stuck that in there, so I always have a yarn needle with me. I have, since I have it, I usually keep these in my purse. So I have a collection of aluminum crochet hooks. I just lay these in the case so that I have extra crochet hooks if I'm with a friend and they need to have a certain size hook, or we're just talking and want to crochet, or I need to show somebody. I've got an extra hook that I can, you know, let them borrow temporarily, or if I'm having more than one project going at the same time and I need the hook that I'm currently using on something else, I've got one with me. Another thing that I've stuck in there is these scissors. These are the ones that fold up like that. I normally just leave them open, but I stuck these in my little case. I have a bag full of these little stitch markers, little safety pin ones. I got these from a friend. I really like them. I really like them. But anyway, I keep a few of these in my little bag as well, in case I don't have my big bag. If I just put this in with a project, then I've got a few stitch markers and stuff. Otherwise, I've got a big bag of them in my crochet bag. The other thing that I did put in here is I went online, and this actually came from All Free Crochet website. I printed off a list of the millimeter and the US and the UK hook size, because sometimes when you go looking at a pattern, it'll tell you like a 3.5 millimeter, and well, yeah, 3.5 millimeter hook, and I'm like, what size hook is that? My hooks, the new hooks, the bamboo ones that I got, all have the millimeters on them. The aluminum crochet hooks that I have, they all have just the letter on them. So it depends on how the pattern is written, what instruction it has, and instead of having to look it up on my phone or find a computer to look it up on, I have this stashed in my little pouch. So that's what I do with this, and like I said, it zips up real handy. Like, I really like it. It pretty much, any bag that I have, it goes with the project. So that's one thing that I've done. Another thing that I did just yesterday, because I've got a couple of projects going, and I hope I can get this to work. I tried it a little bit ago with the camera, and it kind of worked, it kind of didn't. But I only have one stitch counter, and that is currently on the circular needles that I have the knit dishcloth on, the picture dishcloth on. I've got it stuck in the middle there so I can keep track what row I'm on. Now, if there's a project that I need to keep track on, Sometimes I'll write it down on a piece of paper, but if I forget that paper and don't take it with me when I grab the project, then I'm in trouble. But what I have this old iPhone. It's not on any server or anything. There's no service to it unless I have Wi-Fi. But I can use it as a tablet, and if I don't connect to Wi-Fi or anything or leave the screen on, the battery stays up for quite a while. But let's see if I can get this to cooperate. I did earlier. No! There we go. So if you can kind of see what I've done, I've downloaded an app and it doesn't want to work. There we go. I've downloaded an app. You can just kind of see the icon right there. Yes, I know I'm not connected to Wi-Fi. You can see the icon right there. It's a little pink background and it's got a sheep on it. And like I said, this is for an iPhone or Apple product. The app is called Knit-Knitting Counter, and it's a K-A-Z-E application. I've got this, well, you're not going to be able to see it. But anyway, it's a cute little app, and it's a blue background, and the actual button you push for the counter is a little kitty cat sitting on a ball of yarn, which I like that. But you can put different projects in there, and I probably don't use the app to its full potential. My main thing is just keeping track of how many rows I have accomplished. So that does a really good job with that. And I just downloaded that yesterday because I was working on, which I'm not using the yarn that came with Darn Good Yarn, but I'll get with that. But I was working on trying the pattern that came with the Darn Good Yarn with just regular yarn, because it's completely new to me. The concept is completely new. I decided to do the knit project for two reasons. Number one, because I like the way the knitted project looks better than the crochet project. And number two, pardon me, it looked like a challenge. It looked like it was simple. And I want to learn to knit. I want to learn to knit more than just knit and purl back and forth making dishcloths. I want to learn to knit so I can make socks and hats and shawls and cool stuff, because like I've stated before, there are some things that look okay with crochet, there are some things that look really good with crochet, but there are some things that just do not look right with crochet. They need to be knitted. That is my personal opinion. But anyway, back to the yarn. One thing I did manage to do this past week is the Darn Good Yarn that I showed you in my review obviously came in a hank. My first experience with the hank, I was clueless. I didn't know what to do. I watched several YouTube videos, and I will insert a picture here of, my process of rolling that hank into a ball. But I'm happy to say it didn't take me very long. I did not have any problems with it, but I did manage to roll that hank into a ball. So this yarn is so super soft. I don't know, I might not use it for the project pattern that came with the bag, but I don't know, the silk sari yarn is really soft. Now, onto my projects that I've actually remembered to bring with me today. We'll start with the sandpiper shawl. I'm still working on this. I really haven't made a whole lot of progress on it. I think I've only done maybe one row. I've done this first increase row. I'm actually on part 3, and I am 2 rows into part 3. So like I said, I haven't had a whole lot of time to work on this week. But the first row, you got the little increase thingies every about 31 stitches. That's about all the farther I got. I had to recount that last row multiple times because they kept coming up with the wrong number. Recount it and count it. Once I get the same number twice, because sometimes with it being, dark colors, I have trouble seeing the stitches. But anyway, I do have the correct number of stitches. Everything worked out okay, and I got like 2 stitches onto the next row before I had to put it down and stop. So maybe this week I can have some time to work on this some more, but here's what I have so far. Like I said, I'm just starting on part 3. I got my markers here. This would be the end of part 1, and this one here would be the end of part 2. So, is that right? I must not have marked the end of part 3. Anyway, I didn't get a whole lot of time to work on that. Maybe this week, but I'm not going to guarantee anything because it's another really busy week. The project that came with the Darn Good yarn, like I said, I'm experimenting with doing the project with regular yarn instead of using that pretty silk sari yarn. But anyway, this is a completely new concept to me. I am not a knitter. This is new. I am super excited. After about 3 tries, I finally got it. Knitting in the round, I had to have some help explaining some things to me. But I am at this point, and I'm about ready to start the decrease. And this will be the first pot for the tiered air plant hanger, which it is not a free pattern. It is a paid pattern that you can find on the Darn Good Yarn website, but it came with the welcome package for the Darn Good Yarn of the Month Club. But anyway, I am like so super excited about this. I worked on this last night, had a few close calls, thought I dropped a stitch, which I did not, thankfully, because if I did, I would have ripped it all out and started over. So anyway, this is my most proud work in progress for this past week. So excited. Anyway, I'll be working on this week for sure because it's something new and exciting. Shawl can wait. Although I still would like to get it done because it has gotten cold outside. The temperatures have been down in like the lower 30s, upper 20s at night, and so this morning being this cold, I had to get me a cup of hot tea. I got me some Bigelow peppermint hot tea, which I think it's just about ready to brew. It's been brewing while I've been making my video. So it should be good and strong by now, which is what I like. But anyway, like I said, that one project that I did not bring with me, I'm going to do a separate video with it, and I will have that for you probably on Wednesday. And I don't know what I'll do tomorrow, but I will come up with something. I do have some other ideas that might be non-yarn related, but I will have a video for you on Tuesday. Like I said, that project video on Wednesday, and Thursday I'll come up with something. So my goal is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for videos because the weekends for us are pretty busy, so I cannot guarantee videos for those. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe and check back with me tomorrow for another video.